just gets an absurd amount of levels to start moving around and making an impact in that fashion.
I completely agree with you on most of the things that you've said. I think you're correct. I think Monkey King is, in general, a better mid laner. He can itemize as well accordingly and be a bit more active. Just moves on the map much faster than he used to as well. Like overall, the build is allowing him to not die while being active, and that build means basically an early shard. So why did I kind of so basically why I wasn't sure about who goes mid, him on Tiny, is because both of them shouldn't on paper have a good time versus Quap. Like Quap can actually mess you up on the mid lane. But I have to say this guy did go for Masochist on Quap. I feel like the new popular thing among the kids is to go bondage and max out Shadow Strike if you want to dominate the lane. And versus a monkey, if you get a few points of Shadow Strike, he just cannot lane against you. So it's it was an option. Maybe he still goes for Shadow Strike. We'll see.
Perhaps the idea is that if you go for the bondage, looking at the enemy team, they don't have that much like absurd magic damage, right? So they have sharpshooter. That's kind of annoying to deal with. You have the tiny spells, but you know, you're not super overwhelmingly concerned about that, perhaps. But yeah, I'm with you that like mostly what I've been seeing lately is the bondage getting spammed level 3 Shadow Strike. I hate that shit, man. It's so annoying.
Yeah, like old school Quap. Just coming into the lane and you can't even go low ground to hit the creeps.
The battle begins.
Well, that's a level 1
I
lift.
see them being able to zone back for the bounty, but unfortunately they committed a little bit too heavily, Liz, so they're going to end up losing 3 for 1, despite looking decent in their positioning there.
Yeah, well, they lost more. They lost more than 3 for 1. They lost Rubik's ability to lane. He went for lift level 1.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Why?
I think he thought that we might have a kill if he lifts into cogs or something like that. I'm not sure. In any case, it just makes your lane a lot harder and you can't secure the range creep as the Rubik. We'll see. Maybe it still works out for them.
Well, for now, to kick things off, as you mentioned, you should be expecting some degree of action to happen in this mid lane. Pastel, we were talking about this in the previous series that they didn't get to play, that Crab Restaurant, this Celery guy, despite playing up against Lorinov yesterday, wasn't getting dumpstered in mid, so in a favorable matchup, I'm anticipating the Scream of Pain able to do quite well, and indeed, she did go for the Shadow Strike level 1.
No, he went for Scream of Pain, but now he has Shadow Strike. I think, unless I'm completely wrong, which also could be the case. We'll see how much he does. He's already missing a lot of mana, and Pastel did get his Jingu stacks off on mid lane, so this is looking all right for the Monkey King. So far, at least.
Right now, we're looking at what's probably going to be the most boring lane of the game. If anybody dies here, they made a mistake. There's no other explanation.
Yeah, a lot of nice stuns from the Clockwork or Cog connecting. Kachal went for Infernal Blade, by the way, level 1. That's also, I mean, not that crazy, right? Like, you can go for Scorched Earth or Infernal Blade. Both works.
Still got to his level 2 at a decent time, so it's not so bad. On the other side of the map, thank God, Reflect is playing a real offlane hero on the Thunderlord. We'll see what kind of impact he's able to have in this game, and despite the fact that they did go for that early point into the telekinesis, doesn't seem like they were punished for it that heavily in the lane. Reflect CS still looks decent. Malfurion is ahead a little bit, but not by so much that you feel terrible about the start.
Yeah, he had a big problem playing yesterday, as a Viper died like 15 times in that lane. It was rough to watch, but this time around, I think he'll have a much better time.
Should be all good. He's gonna have the IO bother him a little bit by being able to heal up some of the harass going the way of Malfurion, but overall, Reflect should be fine here. There's some creeps coming under the tower. Shouldn't miss any of the CS. Their life is good. lane. This monkey is doing not just well, my friend. He's doubling up the Queen of Pain. How? What the hell? Pastel is just putting in the work right now. Celebrity is in some danger. Pastel thinking about diving forward here. Unfortunately, has to deal with the tick damage on the Shadow Strike. Can't progress past the tier 1 tower, but nonetheless, still feeling very happy about how he's performing in this lane.
Yeah, Monkey is a strange one. Especially if there's like a small skill difference between the players, Monkey can win almost any lane. Because usually as co-op, I think you start off level 1 with Shadow Strike and maybe you can zone him immediately. I don't think so, actually. With Scream of Pain, I take that back. You can secure the range creep. However, he got too close a couple of times, got the Jingo Masteries off on the Monkey, and then Monkey just heals up, right? Like, I think that's something that you cannot allow to happen. Like, you can't let him get those Jingo stacks off. If he does, your lane is probably gonna go really badly. He denies everything from you. He heals up with Boundless Strike. Yep. He wins a lot of these popular matchups, like versus a Puck, Monkey dominates as well. There's a lot of matchups that he wins against right now. Quap shouldn't be the one, but I might be wrong.
Speaking of, actually, do you think... You remember what happened with Kunkka, where they changed the... You could no longer deny with the Tideringer? Should they do that to the Monkey King, where you no longer get the bonus damage if you're denying from the Jingo?
Well, I don't think that would nerf him so hard, but keep in mind that he does lose a stack, right? When he... I'm not sure if he does, actually. Never mind. Yeah, maybe that would be a nice thing to give. Like nice way to nerf him. He's been strong for quite some time now.
Yo, gonna happen, reflect! Gonna end up being the first blood. Liz, how did that happen? How does an Underlord die to a tiny wisp? That's very surprising to me, honestly.
No mana on Rubik. Like, he didn't have Fade Bolt or Lift to work with, so couldn't help. Like, one of the reasons why when you're playing Rubik on a 4, sometimes you want to just go Aura and Fade Bolt early on, because you just don't have the mana to sustain yourself at the first couple of minutes of the game. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's not Rubik's fault that he dies, but he couldn't help him as well. Maybe miscommunication.
It's gonna give him Fury and Storm Rage. It gave him time to farm as well, and he finished off his power treads. And they're actually going in again, but that's not gonna be so much damage. He's fine. Down bottom. Yet again, still the most boring lane. Literally nothing is gonna happen here, Liz. DK Doom, bro. Like, I can't get a less action-packed lane than this one.
Yeah, DK Doom, and there's a clock as well as a support for DK, so literally no damage between those two.
Still, this game, despite the fact that they did find that first blood, probably the first game we've had all qualifier that has been this quiet. Nobody's been running at each other. They're going to try go for Reflect right now underneath the tier 1 tower. There is some support coming in. It's the Rubik. The lift back will be there. Do they have enough damage to properly punish Malfurion? And he's caught right now inside of Pit of Malice. Just a couple of more right clicks is all they need. But the Blood Grenade provides an immaculate slow from the IO, prevents them from closing the gap, and Malfurion will live.
Yeah, they were close. I have to say, a lot closer than maybe I expected. Almost getting the tiny.
Celery T literally leapt away just before the final right click came in. But now, unfortunately, Reflect died top from IO. Was that? He doesn't have wisps, so is this a final right click? I'm not sure how that happened. Bottom. Finally gonna put some pressure onto the clockwork, but as mentioned, this lane is where action comes to die. Neither of these heroes are really gonna find themselves falling that easily. Eventually they kill the clockwork, but that's cost them a lot of mana and a lot of HP. Can revenge be found by this DK? I'm not entirely sure. TP out right up in front of his face. Kachal is out. Goes all the way back.
Pops here though, maybe a kill on oh, he was about to use Sonic Wave, it looked like. Or was that a blink animation that got cancelled?
I think it was a blink animation. He doesn't have mana. He's out of mana right now.
Yeah. Well, he's gonna get the shrine, it seems like, unless this double damage monkey can stop it.
Pastel has the vision, doesn't have the Wukongs,
Pastel?
but they do have
Pastel?
the Doom coming through as well. Salary C takes it, and they get out. Pastel doesn't try to interrupt him in time. He's finally going to go back in, trying to use some of the body blocks. There's going to be the Boundless Strike, and there's the final right click. The Amplified Damage rune giving him the damage. And in the meantime, on the other side of the map, they do manage to bring down Reflect yet again. They isolate him away from his team. They bring him down. So 2 cores fall on both sides of the map.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate for the Quap to die there. Maybe could have blinked in the other direction and TP'd out. But then again, a bit unfortunate for Winterbear to lose their Wisdom Shrine that way, right? Like another thing that they probably could have prevented if Monkey just went down and fought her. In any case, Winterbear 3k ahead at the moment. The biggest difference, of course, is on the offlane. I feel like Doom versus the Underlord.
Who needs a cloud?
You Reflect right now already being forced to farm into the jungle, just trying to catch back up. Thankfully for them, though, they were playing into a tiny IO lane. Despite the death that he suffered, their tier 1 tower is still extremely healthy. Wasn't that much pressure on the hero, so the space across the map, they're gonna de-ward their triangle. And this is a good thing. Monkey was literally spending the last like 90 seconds, not 90 seconds, like 45 seconds in this area trying to hunt, but didn't find anybody. Sees the clockwork now, but will realize that all his time has been wasted and might even die for this Liz. Gets lifted back.
They'll
by
come
the Rubik.
tiny.
Sonic Wave is available. Do they have the damage is the question. He's gonna try and
Nope.
TP out right now. Sonic Wave committed, but it comes a little bit too late. Not enough damage to kill. They will at least be able to bring down their IO, but that is certainly a trade you will take all day, every day if you're Winterbear.
Yeah, absolutely. Saving the Monkey King is what matters there. It's crazy how leveled these supports are on Winterbear's side, considering they didn't even get the Wisdom Rune. Like, Hoodwink is almost 6, 5.5. IO already 6. This map is absolutely open now, and if you get doomed, let's say on the DK, maybe a relocate happens.
Scary time to think about. We're gonna probably see DK playing a lot more carefully behind this tier 1. Monkey is here, hunting down bottom.
They know,
Nice
though.
big rotation, and they actually go on to him first. The Doom is far away. They might not be able to reach him in time. Here's the relocate coming in, bringing in some reinforcements. Doom flies in onto the Rubik, but the fight is still ongoing, and now focus underneath the tier 1 tower. They've interrupted the jump onto the Monkey, but they haven't done too much damage onto these Radiant heroes themselves. Kachal is the one that's falling low first. The relocate is now over. Kachal is going to end up dead. Rubik managed to steal a Boundless Strike, and they got vision. The courier flew over the tree. It saw Pastel, but unfortunately, they don't deal enough damage to prevent him jumping away. He is still going to keep living. And will they actually be able to find him? Silence has an idea of where he's at, and now they got him. They know where he's at. The question is, do they have the damage to do anything about it? Pastel falling very low, surprisingly low, but he is still a Monkey. Almost got that secondary right click. That would have killed Rubik and healed him up, but sadly the animation is too long. He loses his life, and Crab, Restaurant, not just keep the tower, but finally make a successful play.
I actually think that right click, the last right click, he switched the target. I think he was supposed to kill the Rubik there. Even with the battery assault, I think Rubik was dead. I think he switched his animation on clock. I'm not sure. It looked that way. But in any case, this looked like a fight that Winterbear should easily take, considering what an advantage they had with levels. But their spells weren't really all used to perfection. The Doom on Rubik was kinda unnecessary. Quap was TPing in. They wasted a lot of damage on her, and then she just blinks out. If you Doom her, you kill her instantly, but yeah, they don't. And the game looks a bit more even now. I have to say, you did hype me up on the fact that Winterbear are favorites. They are, still. You can see that they're a bit better. But it's not a massive difference.
On bottom, they're trying to go onto Kachal, but he does have support from Delight, as well as the relocate. The sharpshooter out onto the DK has broken his healing, so he's going to end up being brought down here. Nothing he can do. Now Furion making a good reload there. Sadly, though, he goes back. This is one of the, I think, one of the main issues with Wisp for me is when you show up to the other side of the map, let's take the case of, like, let's say a carry hero like Nature's Prophet, right? Nature's Prophet shows up, provides the additional numbers, but can also stay there long enough to take the objective in front of you.
Well,
And with the relocate, you can't really do that.
Well, you can. You just break tether, and that's it. And he could have.
And then
like,
get reported. No, bro.
No, I expected it to happen there, actually. Like, looking at Ayo, I'm not sure why he doesn't leave the tiny bottom.
Bottom? Well, this time around, Tiny's probably saying to himself, it's fine that I'm not there right now, brother, because the first Dark Rift of the game comes through, and they show up, they kill him off.
A minute later, yeah, sure. I agree.
almost feel bad.
But no, for sure. Like, if they wanted to take down the tier 1 tower after killing DK, they could have. Or they could have at least pressured it. But they want to continue farming. The Tiny is closer to the Shadow Blade. He's getting there, at least Malfurion is not too far.
Yon tower being sieged upon right now. MMD, he himself is going just straight in for that Mjolnir build. Mjolnir, D-Lance, presumably into... Is it going to be BKB or SNY? In this game, SNY I think is better than BKB.
Sorry, on which hero? Monkey?
DK.
Or-
After he finishes
DK.
his D-Lance, he's going to go Mjolnir, D-Lance, and I'm thinking, what's the defensive item? BKB or SNY?
Well, he has Mjolnir and Pike fully charged up for now, queued up. This game, SNY might be just as good. You are playing into Doom, BKB TP out, or SNY and just run around. I don't know, position 1, I like the SNY a bit better. On a position 1, but we'll see.
Made an attempt on the Hoodwink slide middle, but they fail. Can't get to him in time. So the game has slowed down somewhat. Winter Bears still maintain their overall gold lead. It's expanded a little bit from 3k to 4k, but the balance of the game does not feel like it's a 4k, 14-minute lead. We've seen what games normally look like when you have this kind of lead at this stage, but it doesn't feel like it's that decidedly in their favor.
Yeah, it most certainly does not. It's a very close game. Considering the way these two teams are playing, I feel like we might be in for a very long one. 0 tier 1 towers are down, besides the top that they took during the laning stage. And the bottom as well, I guess. So never mind, I was wrong.
almost feel bad.
2 out of 6 are down. They have a lot of stacks
Close
on Winter
enough.
Bear. Yeah, close enough, close enough.
So who takes these stacks? Doom, the Tiny, or the Monkey?
I feel like these 3 heroes are gonna take a Doom, Monkey, and the Hoodwink.
Autographs out front.
They're here at least, so it looks like they'll go for it. Tiny takes it the easiest with the Wisp, but you can just take it with the stack of heroes, the way they're probably gonna do now.
Not as many stacks on the opposite side, but there's still a fairly decent one. That Reflect could start farming up with Silent. We are slowly but surely seeing this Underlord have some degree of impact in the game, but it's still going to take a while. So far, his impact has been limited to the Pit of Malices and the Dark Rifts. Why am I saying Dark Rift? What's a new spell called again? Fiend's Gate. Yes, not Dark Rift. That's the old one. Really old one. Let me know in chat if you know what a Dark Rift is. Also, you'll be revealing that you're over 30 for sure.
What do you mean? Over 30 in Dota chat? Never. We're all young, 23 years old.
Your name offends.
No one here is over 25, right?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. All of us still get carded when we go to like bars and stuff.
Exactly.
Dude, I still can't believe we had to like hustle you in that bar that one time because they couldn't believe you were over 18. What the hell was that?
Yeah, what can you do, man? Also, I can remember that time when you borrowed me $1,000 so I can get out of problems. Dude, you're such a bro. Like, so young and also such a bro. Thank you for that.
Well, back in the game now. Indeed, as you said, these 3 heroes are going to farm the stacks. Seems like, let's see who got the bulk of the gold here. All right, decent distribution. Delight unfortunately ended up taking one of the the bigger Thunder Heights. The Acorn shot bounced around too much, did too much damage. What can you do?
Well, nothing wrong
still-
with that.
like a solution.
Having a bit more gold on a Hoodwink position 4 is always nice. He's gonna bring them some more catch, the ATOS and stuff, so not too terrible. Another
Your
pause.
name offends me. What a surprise.
You know, whenever we see situations like this where like farm is being distributed in like an ancient camp or whatever, you can just tell that you play support much more often than me, because I'll get viscerally annoyed that the carry is not getting all the gold. And you're like, nah, bro, it's good for the team. I don't care about the team, bro. I want to juice my stats.
Yeah, it's not really not that bad, especially right now when stacks are being contested a lot. Like you can take them with anyone, whoever is around, to farm them up. There's enough farm on the map for basically everyone. So if you are taking the stacks, it's not like your carry is stuck somewhere without being able to farm. He's farming, and they're even farming ancients just on the other side of the map. So it's, who cares, you know? At this point, it's not the only ancient stack. Farm away, bro. Do whatever.
Like you say, that Leipnir, once, well, you might not
I
get to
almost
Leipnir
feel
early,
bad.
but just simply having Atos against Queen of Pain, Clockwork, Rubik, Underlord, this is a really good item for this game.
Yeah, we'll see if he goes for Gleipnir even. It's good. I don't mind it. It's not as great on Hoodwink as it used to be, but definitely one of the options.
How do you feel about Forced Off instead, because you're playing against Clockwork?
It's all right versus Pit of Malice and versus Cogs. He does have expanded armature, but I wouldn't mind seeing that. Wouldn't mind seeing a 4-staff on someone. Maybe just Solar Crest, really. Maybe something that Io can buy as well. Buff up this tiny, create him a beast. Turn him into a beastly stone.
Make him a rock. Actually, now that you mentioned it, I'm surprised that we're not seeing a Crest anywhere right now, but we shall see. Still have time to go. Admin is getting involved, asking some the questions that the teams don't want to answer right now. You know, nobody wants to say, nah, our one player is just downloading too much porn at the moment. You have to stop the torrents. Our bad, bro. We'll be back in a sec.
Yeah. Good old. Check your downloads.
What a surprise.
Has that ever happened
Sorry,
to you, like,
man,
when
I
you were playing with
can't.
the team?
Sorry, man, I can't resume. There's a pop-up on my screen. I'm trying to close it, but it keeps on moving from one side of the screen to the other. Every time I press X, another one shows up. Help!
Like, sorry guys, I can't play. There's too many local singles in my area that are waiting for me.
Yeah.
Well, looks like he's taking care of the local MOFs. He's back, and we will continue with the game.
Ready to strike once again. Let's see.
Dire are scanning.
So far, the game is quite eventful. 11 kills, 15 minutes in. It's a massive amount of work being done everywhere on the map. How's my boy 03 Reflect doing? He's actually finding some farm as well. Got the double bracer, going for the Atos next. He's going for that Pit of Malice. Atos contain, not that bad for him. Like Leipnir is actually pretty solid on Underlord now, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. A lot more stats, you know, tanks the hero up, lets him do his
Bot
thing.
lane, we're gonna have a reload, right? Where's the reload?
Yeah, we are definitely. Where's the reload?
Where's the reload?
They didn't.
Radiant's
Oh, they didn't have
middle
mana.
tower is under attack.
No mana on the Hoodwink, so they couldn't really lead in with the Bushwhack. But he had 10 one-charges as well.
No, dude, he used all his spells. They had the Bushwhack, they had the Atos, it was all used, they just didn't reload. He was dead. If they reload, he's dead, but yeah. What can you do?
That's unfortunate. Maybe they're gonna go mid onto the Queen of Pain, but sadly, oh man, did you see? Dude, the Doom literally had his arms raised. He was about to Doom the Quap, but she blinks away at the last second. That's so sad.
Malfurion trying to be sneaky, but there's a Wisp following him in tether, so your Shadow Blade does not work. The same, my friend.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Fury now will show himself. Unfortunately, because he is playing this carry tiny, there's no blink coming through from him. So no easy way to try and reload. I wanted to say relocate, but that doesn't make sense when there is a relocate in the game. Reposition the enemy heroes. There we go.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But they will finally come bottom, and they will finally take this tier 1 tower. I feel like given how good the advantage was early and how early they were fighting in this area, it's a win for Crab Restaurant that it took them this long to eventually bring down the building.
Yeah, absolutely. They have a Dagon now on the mighty Queen of Pain, and they have the Fiend's Gate. The Fiend's Gate.
They come through with that gate with the Dark Rift. They do maybe look towards Pastel. They miss with the hook shot going forward.
They're
finally able to push him back with the cogs, and now Doom flown in, but it's only on to Reflect. They're still able to kill both him and Silence extremely quickly, and now they dive forward. Monkey King drops a Wukan. Doesn't really connect onto anybody, but it does separate the DK away from his team. He is certainly going to get killed down here. Everybody else forced to flee, but Crab Restaurant, they took that fight of their own accord, Liz. They came through the Finn's Gate. They had multiple heroes positioned for the fight, but they ultimately just lacked the vision on the Monkey to kill him first.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a mech on Wisp, so kind of hard to get some big kills going when this little light bulb heals everyone around him. Nicely done by Clock, I have to say, getting those cogs to take down the Monkey King. That was cool. Good job, Mr. Subhuman Silent. Unfortunately, it was not good enough.
Now they might be able to bring down the Queen of Pain. Oof, she blinks away just in time. That Boundless, honestly, I thought it connected, but she got herself away at the last minute.
It did. It connected. She just blinked after. They had no avalanche or toss to Or am I crazy? I mean, I don't know if I'm seeing the things anymore. I think it's connected.
I'm actually starting to wonder. One of us might be seeing things. Okay, and we need to. I want to do a rewind, but okay. Question. Do you want to buff Boundless Strike, right, so that it can add orb effects on top of it?
Does it not? It has True Strike already.
What I mean is that, like, any orb effect. So I want what we'll talk about in a second. Mid lane. To have an attempt onto the Queen of Pain's life. She blinks towards the Hoodwink? What? Now she dies. She's gone. There will be a Pit of Mana's down. The DK will be there, able to at least get the kill in retribution onto the Hoodwink. But now here comes the Monkey King. Blinks in, immediately gets stunned for his efforts. Wukong's command will be coming out right now, but he still ends up dying within it. Now Fury and Stormmage comes in with the relocate, but it's so late. They retreat. They don't have enough damage. All of a sudden, Kachal stunned out on the far side of the fight. He's going to get brought down with the right clicks. The Rod of Atos made sure he could not run away from the DK. He gets a triple for the Dragon Knight. What a fight, and that was not supposed to happen. Winter Bay, they started things off, Liz, by killing the Quap before she could even cast Sonic Wave, and you still go down 3-1.
Yep, they are having some issues with the Quap Dragon Knight being a mean hero, by the way. Frost Dragon, Mjolnir, and he's already able to 1v5 this game, it seems like. So, rough stuff for Winter Bear. They need to find a way to deal with DK. But in general, what happened is they didn't have mana. Io is not working with a lot, so he needs to be careful. He needs some, maybe arcanes or something similar, because this isn't working out. Our friend loses connection whenever he gets a call, and someone is spam calling him.
Oh, no. Wait, what do they mean? Are they calling him on Discord? Are they calling him... Where are they calling the homeboy?
I have no clue. Could he be on, like, data? Could he be using, like, a hotspot on his mobile phone, actually? And someone calls him and then he loses connection? I don't know.
Ah, I see. And if he is using the data connection, then you can't just turn off the data on his phone to try and stop the calls?
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, when you receive a normal phone call and you're not connected to, like, if you're using it as a hotspot and you're not connected to Wi-Fi, if you receive a normal phone call, it does, on a normal phone at the very least, it does disable your HSDPA/LTE connection. So that maybe could be the case. If that is the case, that's such a dick move. Have you ever had to play tournaments with a mobile connection?
Well, I had to cast recently, but my ISP throttles the connection when it's shared on hotspot, so I got wrecked. Basically, the only reason why I'm paying data is for those situations, and I got throttled, and it didn't work. Made me a bit pissed. I think I'm switching providers soon, but yeah, I don't know what this is when it comes to him being cold. Hopefully, it won't continue. Hopefully, Salerty can have a normal game, you know, because Quap, it does hurt if you lag. Like, this is one of those heroes where it's almost impossible to play with high ping.
What's your description of these kind of heroes? Volatile heroes. Yes. She certainly is chief among them. But she's back in the game now. Does have the Dagon building in towards having a Kaya. On the other side, though, Malfurion getting closer and closer towards having himself access to a BKB here. And I imagine they want to try and make things happen as quickly as possible thereafter. But that does mean there's at least a couple minutes the Crab Restaurant don't have to worry about a big fight breaking out just yet.
He's gonna go for SNY and then BKB after. Or maybe he completes the BKB, I don't know. Because he went Yasha and then bought a Mithril Hammer. So you might be right, I might be right, we'll see. I wouldn't mind one, or I actually would like SNY more, maybe.
Can't
Really
want
not
to
sure.
say this, but
Yep.
BKB needs a slight rework. Just a slight one. Just a slight one.
What would you do?
Okay, how about this, right? We change the nature of the charges, right? So we go, instead of going from 9 to 5 to 6, we go 10 to 5. 2-second depreciation in between. But then you get that extra second, you get a little bit more HP, and maybe we add like, we change the recipe, so instead of buying a Ogre Axe, you buy a Sange, so you get a little bit amounts of status resist, but you also have 2 seconds minus. So it's worse
What
at
lane?
the very end, but better at the very beginning. Down bottom, big fight happening onto this Dragon Knight. They have a Wukongs and a Sharpshooter out on top of him, and they are able to get the kill. Reflect gets himself doomed as well. And with the right clicks from Malfurion Stormrage, they are able to find the kill onto the Underlord too. So that's a 2-for-0 exchange here. They came through the Fiend's Gate to make this happen. And in the ultimate move of PM, the Doom takes his own Fiend's Gate to go to the other side of the map and farm his camps. That's just rude, Kachal.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue pushing together with Io and Tiny. Perhaps they can take down the tier 2 tower, we'll see, maybe not. Right now it's looking like he will have a BKB that you talked about, a fresh one. Wait, is he just gonna keep the Yasha, by the way? Is that the thing? Because it looks like he might. Never mind, he's gonna finish off the full thing.
I was going to ask you how what do you think of Manta Tiny perhaps, but not going to happen sadly.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time to see it. It's not that bad. It's okay on Tiny, but if you need it. But in this game, you don't really need it. It's not like one of those games, even though in general it's not like the best item on him right now. There were some metas where it was okay. This not being one of them. They are trying to hunt mid. There's the hookshot.
The catch, Pastel, do they have the damage? Yes, they do. Okay, they are able to find these heroes separated from the rest of their squads. They do have the capability of blowing them up at this stage now. There's a lot of damage that has been coming in. But unfortunately, it's only available for like one target at a time, right? I'm not so sure they could do that against an entire team at the moment.
Yup. It was nice. It was also Hunter's Boomerang from Rubik. And then he stole Boundless Strike. Just nicely done by 404. Amping that damage up. From position 4. The light going for which blade next? That's sweet on a Hoodwink. Kinda cool. Not something you see too often.
Okay. Erasma Hoodwink, I'm excited. I could see that. That'll be fun.
Yeah, they need this Reverence Brooch on Tiny. Once they have it, the Dragonite suddenly is not as tanky of a beast, and you can actually fight him in these fights. Take him down before he takes you out.
Hook,
Nice
middle.
hook
They're
shot
gonna go for the
again, yeah.
Doom now, but there's no follow-up. It's just silent by himself.
Well,
Just trying to strike fear into the hearts of the enemy.
Yep, Dragonite was around, but was not able to connect on time.
DK does not have Blink, just has the ultimate available, doesn't have even a Shadow Blade or something for mobility. So couldn't get there in time. Does move bottom though to just dissuade the push onto the tower by the Tiny. I must say, echoing a similar sentiment from earlier, it's 11k for Winter Bear right now, but it's not uber oppressive. They certainly are ahead though. You can definitely sense that Crab Restaurant do not want to take a 5-on-5 fight at the moment.
Well, I'm not sure when they will want to. They are moving towards the Quap Aghanim's, which might be helpful. Reflect on top.
Lord, Bushwhack will be there. There's the Boomerang Sharpshooter. They even reload for this one. They do find the kill. And then this is gonna be such a like a head scratcher. Like you die as Reflect, and then like a couple seconds later you see Roshan is falling. You're like, what? The hell is this, bro?
Yeah, they reload out of the pit. Kachal was caught on mid lane, but no damage between these three heroes. I mean, there is, if they wanted to commit with all of their stuff, I feel like maybe they could have even killed that Doom. There was no reload. He has a BKB though, so killing him before he pops the BKB probably is not gonna happen.
I almost feel bad.
So what we doing here? There's a Pike on a Dragonite, it seems like. Some extra mobility. So I would like Tiny to... He's going for Silver Edge. Maybe he can get himself a Harpoon as well soon.
Oh. Reflect. Very aggressive Fiend's Gate forward. I need to get the Pit of Malice out onto the IO, but what's really interesting about this is that they don't know that he's actually all alone. At the time, they could have just straight up killed him, honestly. They have, with the Silver Edge on the Tiny, SNY, BKB, Echo, he would have died for sure, but
It's scary though.
safe. They get back to it.
It's scary, man. Like there's some beast. Imagine a Fiend's Gate shows up behind you, and like some lights come through it. Wouldn't you be afraid? I would.
Not as afraid as this Monkey King is right now, because he's in the middle of all of these heroes. Oh no, the reload. They weren't able to tether him in time, Liz.
They did.
They do get back into him now. There's the heal, but it's not going to be good enough to get him back to safety. Now all of a sudden, Malfurion and Storm Rage coming in for revenge. BKB activated with the Doom laid out onto Reflect as well. They are able to get the Underlord. Now they turn their attention to the TK. Doesn't have a BKB of his own, so he cannot stand his ground. He will end up falling. Toss up into the air on the Clockwork with the full Avalanche combination. Malfurion gets that kill. Kachal wanted to chase down 404. Sharpshooter will connect. Glimmer Cape will be there.
Tower is under attack.
Rubik, 404, not found. He is still alive. They cannot catch him, and so he will live.
This fight went, of course, really well for Winter Bear. They might even win a side off of it, but I have to praise these guys that are the underdogs. Clockwork, actually, his hookshot is the only reason why that fight wasn't a disaster. Like, he cancels Wukong's command in half, so he has to wind it up again on the Monkey King, and he can't BKB, of course, because he's stunned. If he manages to use the Wukong's command a little bit faster, that fight is even worse for a Crab Restaurant. So nicely done by the Clockwork. Unfortunately, it's still pretty bad in general.
Bottom, Malfurion. Hunting this Dragon Knight. There's no relocate for another second, but now it's online, but there's no one nearby. Monkey King's gonna get reload. They got the monkey. They're coming, Liz. Here they come. And here we go. DK, sorry to be you, my friend. You are about to lose your life, and there's not really much you can do about it. We'll try with the Hurricane Pike, but it is a vain effort in the end.
Yeah, they're just farming up, trying to split the map, but they're splitting it a little bit too much. When you look at Crab Restaurant, everyone is farming their own place, so you don't have a way to connect if one of you gets gone on, and usually you will get punished if you're playing like that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tier 2 tower gonna get taken now by Malfurion and Io.
Dire's top
So,
tower is under
the
attack.
crazy thing about all of this is that this has been happening
Reflect.
before the Revenant's Broach arrives.
Can they get him?
Please reflect. Rod of Atos will be there. They're going on top of him now. Hunter's Boomerang is out. Ushrak kept him in position, and his allies are nowhere to be seen. He's gonna try and get himself out with the Fiend's Gate though, and he will succeed. Nicely done. In fact, he goes right back in for a fight. Malfurion caught right now inside this pit of malice. The DK going on the backlines, wanting to try and find the IO first, and they are able to bring him down. First life taken away from the Aegis. Malfurion did manage to take away the range racks, but let's see if he survives this fight. Yet again inside the pit of malice, but he does have a BKB, trying to escape from it right now. Walking away for the time being, as we see Pastel going on the backline, trying to look for the Queen of Pain. BKB TP out. He will force them to stop their pursuit on the back edge of the fight. In the meantime, Malfurion able to bring down Silent, who was a little bit isolated from the rest of his squad. They do defend the base though. That's the most important thing. You lost range racks, you lost a tier 3, but you do not get yourself a full lane of super creeps.
Reflect God on the Underlord TPing back with the Fiend's Gate, man, into a fight. Imagine how calm, cool, and collected he was to go back straight into the fight. Kachal, on the other hand, even though he has way more farm, does not click R and press on the quap. It was tossed onto him, but he did not take that as an invitation to doom her. Instead, he lost himself a little bit. Unfortunate.
Wow. Well, that one is your fault, fam. You were just gassing up Reflect God, so that was a cost.
I'll still do it. I don't care. I'll still gas him up. Reflect, absolute beast. Does die a couple of times, but it doesn't matter.
I will say today is definitely a night and day difference in terms of his performance in the game. Yes, he's still dying a lot, but you can feel his impact in these fights relative to what we were seeing yesterday on the Viper and the Razor.
Absolutely. They can win this. I'm telling you, like, you can see that Crab Restaurant are definitely the weaker out of the two teams. They're probably like low immortals, maybe not even immortals, and the other guys are like ranked 4,000 immortals or something. Maybe even lower, I'm not sure. Like, they're somewhere, maybe higher. But you can see that Crab Restaurant can win this. They just have to have faith. They have to believe.
If you just believe.
Where's
There's
the nags
right
on
now
Ruby,
because
too?
they're smoked up. Does he have axe? Nice.
Yeah.
They're going bottom for a fight. Fiend's Gate's coming out here. They see the Hoodwink. They interrupt the escape from the TP. And they do manage to catch her. Very nice grab there. And at this point in the game, the delay tactics certainly feel like are necessary. And look where these heroes are on the Winter Bear lineup. They're playing to the north side with the IOs and Tiny. The Monkey King is towards his own Ancients. It feels like for the first time in the last like 3-4 minutes that Crab Restaurants actually have their own side of the map to play on without having to be fearful of getting jumped at any moment.
They're getting there. They're itemizing to kill. Winter Bear are itemizing to sustain through these fights. You know which side I like always better? The one that itemizes for the kill. The Squap now with the Naganim's Dagon. I want to see her jump some targets. I want to see a smoke coming from Crab Restaurant. They are losing a lot of their time chilling. Is this a smoke? They're kind of hugging. Yeah, let's go! Crab Restaurant!
The smoke is going to find somebody very, very quickly. The fight's about to start. They get the dust back, but they lift back the Doom. He doesn't find the initial stun just yet. DK in his ultimate form. They have the stun out onto this Tiny. Tiny falling very low. The Sonic Wave whiffs completely from Salary T. They still get an amazing hook shot forward though. Can they have the damage to bring down the Tiny? Relocate. Drags him just up the hill. Not that far away from the fight. In the meantime though, Wukong's command dropped onto absolutely everybody with the Doom onto the Dragon Knight too. He's going to be forced to run away from this fight. In the meantime, on the back edge, now Furion has enough damage to bring down the Queen of Pain. So they end up losing to make that a third because the Clockwork might die. No, the Cogs! The pushback prevents the chase in from Kachal, but he does have a Blink Dagger. Follows him, kills him, and brings an end to this fight.
Stop hugging!
Now Furion Stormreach almost died.
Stop hugging, you have aghanims on you from Pop, god damn it. Ah, insane, they almost fed there in the end, but nice relocates from Johnny Pro. This little wisp managing to save this big rock with the reload, waiting until the last moment, and he kept him in the fight as well. What a god, what a beast, what a player.
Is it wild to you to think
13-0-6
that
tiny,
if they
but only due
didn't,
to Io. Huh?
if they didn't whiff that Sonic Wave, he would have just died. They probably win that fight if they get the kill on the Tiny.
Probably. Probably.
Oh boy. Now the lead sits at 22,000 gold, 19 levels in experience, and Gaben is affording Winter Bear an 88% chance of victory right now.
I don't know, I'd still say this is a game where anyone can win if they find the right steals on the Rubik. If this DK gets an extra item, it doesn't hit hard enough, that's the problem. He needs this brooch. You need to hit hard. Like, how can you kill someone if you don't have the damage? You need the damage. That's my professional analysis.
Lizard School of Dota, hit them harder, bro.
Just
the
kill
problem?
them. Just kill them, lol. Why aren't you killing them? Malfurion.
Got the IO behind him, so he's fine.
Oh, the
Stolen
Doom.
Doom, though. How did that happen? Coming in from the Rubik. Managed to get him back, and here's gonna be the Wukong's command. Sonic Wave does connect this time around, but Pastel does have a BKB, turning his attention towards the Rubik, who's caught inside the Wukong's. Cannot escape as you are slowed by the sharpshooter, but as soon as the DK gets outside of the Wukong's, he just eviscerates this Monkey King. There's no Doom to apply anymore by Kachal. He pops his BKB, going in onto the high ground, but nobody is here. This is not looking the prettiest. It's still 2 for 1 overall, and now hookshot back onto Kachal. His BKB is down. Look at the damage output coming in from the Dragon Knight. It's not enough to kill him though. Glimmer Cape keeps the DK alive for now, but eventually he will fall. Now Furion though, trying to at least get the kill on the DK, succeeds in this effort. Also going to be able to catch up to Salary T and kill him too. Despite the fact that they find 3 heroes, it still results in a team wipe in favor of Winter Bears.
Yeah, Malfurion just too big. This rock hits hard. Nice little Doom steal, by the way, by the Rubik that you talked about. Yeah, it wasn't good enough. It wasn't enough. Monkey King traded his life for the Rubik, and it still works out in the end. What can they get here? Toss now stolen by the Rubik. There's no crash landing on the other side, of course, so it's not as massive. Let's have Avalanche too.
Doesn't have the range, unfortunately, so not able to catch up onto Malfurion. And they know that Johnny still has the relocate, so it's a very tough kill to try and find right now. They got some vision on him, so they're chasing Malfurion, but I don't know about this one, Ken.
They have relocate, they have Mech Glimmer on Io, there's a Satanic on Tiny. You gotta be careful if you want to fight this one, because Malfurion is angry. You slayed his brothers, the Doom, the hoodwinked monkey. He wants revenge. He's ready to fight you. Or Rosh. He's ready to fight Rosh as well. Who's the bigger rock?
I mean him, right? Roshan just has a, you know, a carapace-like exterior. Just scales and stuff everywhere, so definitely as a rock, it's gotta be the Tiny. Gotcha.
Why is there a BKB Doom running past them? I'm not
Just
sure, but
testing
there's...
out the button.
Yeah, just testing. 1, 2, 3.
That Doom does have an Octarine core now. So we're looking at a very scary Doombringer going forward. Aegis in tow for the monkey, so they didn't give a cheese or an Aegis or any kind of additional defense from the Roshan onto Malfurion, given that they probably feel, you know what, is this guy really going to die? He's 14-0-8. As long as the IO doesn't mess up, he should be fine.
Well, I'd give him the Aegis, because if he dies, you might lose. If Monkey dies, who cares? But, okay. Okay, they want to take their shrine. They see Kachal. He has no BKB. Doom, you better run.
Oh my god. Is no way, dude. No way. Is he actually gonna die from this?
He
That
actually
mistaken BKB around the Roshan pit actually got him killed.
Unbelievable. Actually very believable, but okay. He does die. They'll have to wait for him for an extra minute, and then probably an attempt on the Radiant base will be made. How's my boy DK doing? You see, this is what I don't like. He's going for BKB. That's the sensible approach. You know, Broach was the way.
I don't like it.
Tossed
either.
onto the
Might get a
hoodwink.
kill,
Nice
though.
play.
Oh my goodness. Nice play from Delight, but unfortunately, DK does have a Hurricane Pike, so you can catch up to him with that absurd range on the Dragon Tail and still get the kill. I'm with
Delight
you.
is
I
actually-
would have liked just big damage as well.
Yeah. The Light's probably their highest MMR player, by the way, on the Winter Bear side. If I would guess, I would say he's the highest. Him and Tiny
Dire's
probably.
middle tower
And
is
on the
under
other
attack.
side, I
Dire's
think
middle
it's
tower has fallen.
probably the DK as well. I mean the carry as well.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
That carry now has a BKB in his inventory and goes Super Saiyan to try and evade some of this damage. And they still have to deal with 3 minutes of an Aegis available on Pastel. Thankfully, 40 seconds without a Hoodwink does take away from that timer quite substantially. And what's he building is getting himself an Eye of Skadi. So full Skadi now available for this Monkey King. So you have 2 sources of heal reduction to counteract the DK as well as the Guardian Greaves from the Thunderlord.
Yeah, tanks him up a bit. They need to use the Sage though. It's time. It's time, boys. Nothing to wait for. Doom is back up.
Dire's top tower
Is
has
the
been
butterfly
down.
done? Malfurion is saving his slots. Setting up on this Doom, actually. Trying to bait.
Unfortunately, since he has BKB now, they're not falling for it. It looks like they're gonna dangle him in the exact same spot he died last time. But now they get back. Unfortunate.
Dire are scanning.
They will smoke though. No monkey with them.
Go steal the shrine right now, take away that experience. We'll see if they wanna go forward. Monkey did port to the tier 2 top and he's making his way towards them. Simian Stride will certainly cut this trip drastically short. And he's already here. So we'll see if they wanna go high ground with the Sages.
Might be a bit late. 1 minute and a half remaining. If they could get them outside of the base, that would probably be nicer. The Dragonite is the only one out, but they don't have any vision in the Radiant jungle to catch him.
Pressure also picked up now by this Doom. So it is go time, baby. He did get the DK did buy out. BKB and Raven's Brooch is now available from him. So he's going all in. And here's the fight. Hook shot forward. Silence. Can he find anything? They got the Sonic Wave onto multiple heroes. And now they're looking to take away the first life from this Monkey King. And they will succeed. In the meantime, Respect went to the backlines, dropped a massive Pit of Malice. But he does die underneath the auspices of the Doom. Monkey King back online. Doesn't have any way to get out of here easily. But does have BKB. Will just start walking out of the base. And they don't really
they're
want to
being
chase
baited.
too far out from him. What a great use of the bushwhack. It connected onto Silent. They kill him off. And now the secondary Doom laid out onto the DK. He is running back to base, trying to get to safety. Glimmercape buying space and time. He tried to get in with anything, but sadly dies right in front of the base.
Oh.
He will go down without buyback. The rest of Winter Bears will now just clean up the final lane of racks and achieve themselves the megas. In the meantime, Queen of Pain, trying to bring down Pastel, fails to do so, dies back in the process, no less.
Deny him!
That's 2
Deny him,
minutes in the
Kachal!
grave, but no, actually gets it. The Shadow Strike, it persists beyond her death, and
Nice,
it does bring
Kachal.
down the monkey inside the base.
Kachal boss.
Kachal tried to deny him as much
Kachal
as humanly
boss.
possible, but what can you do?
Oh, he tried to kill him. He didn't have to deny him. The guy was alive. He just TP'd, but Kachal brought him low enough to kill him. He probably would have lived if he just TP'd. Maybe a Fairy Fire and he's fine. But, yeah. A crazy game coming to an end. 44 minutes. This is the longest game that we have had in the MESWA tournament, at least in this call. Let's see how they do it. Maybe they switch up the lanes, maybe they don't. It won't be the first time that
you're
we
right.
see. Yeah.
No, you're right. He's got the ward and he's going mid. You're right. You're correct.
Yeah, makes more
You are
sense.
correct. Yeah. And with everybody tipping him, they're probably like, they're trying to gas the boy up and be like, bro,
Yeah.
we need you to dumpster the game, gang.
They truly are. They're hyping him up, man. He's probably had the worst time out of all of them on Crab Restaurant, you know. And I like this. I like this. Trying to hype him up.
Okay, honestly, just because they've done this, right? I really want Crab to win this game. Crab Kachan in the Kachan restaurant, please win this game. Like, just for the sake of Reflect, you know, this will literally be a generational moment for him, bro. Being able to win a game after having such a torrid time from mid after you've been off lane getting dumpstered, man, he would feel amazing after this.
30 seconds to
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's like a nice bonding thing for friends as well. They believed in him. They put him mid, and then he actually delivered. Maybe he's a mid player as well, just put in the offlane because they couldn't find anyone else. That could also be the case, by the way. They are running here, like really deep.
Indeed, they even dropped the blood grenade onto John, but here comes the rest of Winter Bear. Big dual breath from the Jakiro. Unfortunately, Silence is the one falling low. Sunstrike connects, and Pastel able to draw the first blood. Celerity, unfortunately, not really able to threaten John that much, and 404 slowed down by the Gush, getting body blocked by the Treants as well. He has no way out of this one. He's certainly going to lose his life. So this is last game. Winter Bear had an incredible start. 3 for 1 on the bounty. He's Frubik to go telekinesis, but this, by some miracle, is even better. Despite the fact that they do lose the bounty trade 3 for 1, they get themselves 2 kills in the process.
Yeah, unfortunate. I don't know, like I thought maybe they had what it takes to fight here. Because you have Timber, Jakiro, that's a lot of damage. But they went on the wrong target. This Abaddon, by the way, has a passive. Like he went for, I kid you not, he went for Curse of Avernus level 1. And it worked. And it's working right now. Yeah, it might
die,
not be
though.
working anymore.
Yeah. Though it stopped working. It stopped. Oh, Celerity missed the Timber Chain. That actually gets him killed. If he'd gotten the Timber Chain, he would have been able to go on the far side of the trees and survive, but he misses it, eats 4 straight right clicks to the face from Malfurion. So Abaddon is like, bro, do that again, please. I'll happily take that trade.
Yep, exactly. Probably very happy on the Abaddon. We'll get some items back to Malfurion. So when the lane starts, at least it might be okayish for Winter Bear. I feel like Celerity and 404 should do a bit better with level 2 and 3, especially when you get Chakram. Whirling that, I mean, on Timber, sorry. Then you can even kill off the Abaddon if he comes too close.
Now middle, Reflect. It's all you, baby. Your gang was gassing you up. The crew needs you to perform, my friend, and so far in the CS department, he is doing okay, but you don't pick a Huskar to do okay. You pick Huskar to dominate. So we're going to see how that starts to play into effect once he hits level 3 now.
Yeah, one hero that you don't completely dominate is the Invoker, but he's doing alright. Invoker is kind of feeding the Fourth Spirits away, not using the Cold Snap to mess with Huskar a little bit with the Fourth Spirits. So far so good from Reflect.
Bro, this would be the greatest character arc of all time. From feeding offlaner to superstar mid. That's a story I want to see. Down bottom,
Sunstrike.
they are going to try and put pressure out onto these heroes, but no. The Sunstrike was on to Reflect middle. I happen to have my camera there. It missed, so he's fine.
Yeah, didn't. He was really low on Huskar, but as all Huskar players, that's where you want to be. Top lane 404.
John is out here. Dual breath out. They should be able to find this kill. Aphotic shield is going to be enough to absorb most of that damage from the Jack. And Salah. Oh my god, they almost lost the Timber Sword too. This is not something I'm used to, but there's a reason why Malfurion started this lane with the Orb of Blight.
Oh, Huskar mid.
Blight Sword. Huskar, oh no. He's fine, dude. He's fine.
He debated a little bit. Almost got killed by the Cold Snap.
Alright, But that's what I want to see. He's starting to own in the CS department now. Like you said, Invoker is
Maybe
feeding.
dead.
Oh, wait. Uphill miss, no! No uphill miss because they were on the same plane. The attack went all the way through. That is a heartbreaking situation for Reflect because things were looking so solid just before that.
Yeah, thin is the line that you have to tread when you are playing Huskar. And bot lane, they're gonna get the Marcy. Ursa also zoned out. So, yeah. Lanes not looking that bad anymore for Winter Bear. Mid, top, and bottom, all doing fine.
Bro, I'm gonna steal that line. Thin is the that line of thin is the line you have to thread. I'm gonna use it when like I'm at a bar and like they're like, yo, bro, why are you having tequila and a beer? I'm like, thin is the line that you must thread on a party night.
And I'm a weaver. I'm a master
Yes.
weaver.
One of my most played heroes still to this day. So yeah, exactly.
There you go. Kachal down bot. They want to get the tide, but he's big. A big boy.
He's very big, but it's Ursa. Ursa, it's a bear. The bear is gonna rip through you, and indeed the bear succeeds. Silent ends up being credited with the kill, but most of the work being done by MMD Gobe.
This is where you
know-
report your mid for not having Sunstrike. Help you out.
Bro, where was the Sunstrike gang? He's like, sorry, bro, I tried to use it on the Husker. I'm struggling. Top lane, John, almost able to bring down Salary T, but now that they're close enough to the tier 1 tower to get away safely, they'll be okay. But they are struggling in the experience department in the top lane.
Yeah, they're just being completely zoned, absolutely pressured. Mafurion almost level 5. Salary T getting closer to 4, but yeah. Not in a position to be left alone, which is something that you can do to Timber in some games.
Ooh, so you were just saying that like you flame your mid for not sunstriking. Do I flame my carry for not teleporting in? Oh, forward! They come through bottom lane. They want to kill Delight. They are going to be able to do so. One more right click is all they need, and they find him. Kachal looking for revenge. Gush out with the anchor smash, able to find this Ursa, who did not have any more charges on the magic stick. It was on cooldown at the moment. So massive win for Winter Bear. Like, this is not something that I ever expect to see. Like, my Tide Hunter killing the enemy Ursa. This is the best case scenario for me.
Yeah, it can happen if he has a stronger position 4 than the enemy 5, and you go with Gush level 1 and you pressure. But usually when you get to level 5, Ursa is already Orb of Corrosion taking over. Something that MD Gore didn't go for.
Top, hold that thought. Another offlane is in peril right now as Salary T trying to get himself away. Sadly, not going to be able to do so. And
Yeah, bot lane, Kachal, the Tide Hunter.
is King died. He's getting killed. Nice. They got it. And this time around, it doesn't cost them any of their lives. So they trade offlaners on the map, exploiting the fact that they repositioned the support of Delight onto the top lane.
Radiant are scanning.
And they're gonna take the Wisdom Rune, it seems like. On both sides, a snatch is being attempted.
Let's see, Pastel was able to get killed off by Reflect. Loses his killing spree, but they're contesting over this Wisdom Shrine right now. They did manage to grab it for Delight, but Delight might lose his life for this one. Here comes Silence, looking for a way into the fight, but not able to find a clean angle. Too much damage coming in from Malfurion and Stormrage, so they're gonna back off from this. And unfortunately, the Huskar did die, so he's not able to really complement additional damage here. They are TPing in. The Huskar finally does arrive, looking towards Johnny. Life break onto the Abaddon, and we should see a dead Abba. No
Nope.
freaking way, dude.
Why didn't they go on the Prophet though? Like, kind of a bigger target, I think. But yeah, they let the Prophet run away and they let the Abba TP out. The Light is kind of caught in no man's land for now.
They're gonna reposition middle. I think they're gonna go for Reflect. There's no tower. They can't defend him. Reflect, you're dead, brother. Reflect is gone. Cold Snap, Tornado,
Take it easy,
Chaos
baby.
Meteor. There's the calling. Now he's dead, brother. There's no way out of this one for him, and he's gone.
You call it way too soon. You never know. Maybe he has got something in his pockets. If he moved to the right and
again,
used
I'm
his
gonna
ulti, like maybe he'd actually live. Like he had some plays that weren't played. Look at this though.
Nice disposed bottom. The first Ravage of the game will emerge, but it won't help. The Ursa popped in rage just before the tentacles connected, so they have more than enough damage to kill. Also, I'm going to repeat what I said in the previous game, Liz. From when we met until now, right, I cannot believe that now you're the optimist and I'm the one that's cynical about what's going to happen in the game.
I'm not optimist. You very often make calls before the thing happens, and I like to wait a little bit, you know? It's not about being optimistic, pessimistic. If the hero has some things in store, maybe a wand that he can pop, like this
Ursa's
Ursa.
dead, I guarantee. Ursa's dead, I guarantee.
No, he's not. He's not. There's a Marcy with rebound and the pick-me-up facet. You know, like things like this.
Which is stupid, honestly.
It is. It is. It's a dumb facet. It's very strong.
It's way too stupid. Now I know I was just trolling. You know what my voice sounds like when I'm genuinely expecting a kill.
I know.
Tier 1 getting sieged upon right now. They should be able to bring this one down. 2 Forge Spirits with the Invoker beating upon it. And although it is a 4k gold lead at 10 minutes, this was a similar circumstance in game 1 as well. Unfortunately, just like in game 1, it's their offlane that's suffering the most. Celerity, it has less net worth than the enemy Muerta right now.
That usually is not the best place to be in. 23 CS, by the way, on the Timber. Minute 10. It's my last carry game. I played like that. I did win it though, but it was not great.
This is like when you're first starting Dota and you have to do like people tell you, okay, try to get 50 last hits in 10 minutes, and then you're just training, you know, day by day, just getting closer and closer. I still can't believe that used to be like the barometer for excellence. Like if you're having an excellent game, 50 CS at 10 minutes. Now it's just like, yeah, it's okay.
You didn't have as many options. That's also the thing, right? Like you had to stay in the lane, and sometimes you get tri-laned, sometimes, you know, like you didn't have an option to just go and farm the ancients minute 7 with the hero like you do right now. Like you're some Magnus, you get the Morbid Mask and you're farming the ancients already. You're not even level 6. You don't care. Top lane.
Actually, on that point, I have a very interesting question for you. After we see this potential death onto Celerity, he's actually going in to try and force the fight. Pastel gets hit with the Ice Path. They do end up losing the Timber, but Pastel now also going to end up dying. Certainly a worthwhile trade for them at this moment in time. Silent disposes back Johnny, but they don't really want to keep fighting. Malfurion Storm Rage being here does dissuade the rest of Crab from really wanting to participate. 404 TPing out. He's going to make it. Reflect able to retreat as well.
Oh, nice death shot, but a little bit late. Nice idea from the light. Well, not the worst, right? They do get the Invoker. He was getting kind of big. Slowing him down is always nice.
They might get the Muerta here as well. She is wandering up onto the high ground. She's going to get herself silenced. She's going to try and survive, but her life is forfeited. Oh no! Marcy! What have you done? She disposed the Huskar forward into a goddamn Sunstrike, and now she's also going to lose her life in the process. Now Fury and Storm Rage, him and the gang beating down onto Celerity. This Timber Saw will easily fall. Almost brought down Malfurion, but just lacks the levels to do the necessary damage. Man, they could have gotten out on the Huskar, but Delight just has to watch happily, smiling from the grave as Silence literally brings the Huskar to his doom.
Yeah, maybe should have deactivated that pick-me-up. Maybe should have. Unfortunate, he wanted to keep Huskar involved, and he does die in the end because of that. Both of them do.
Alright, I have an interesting question for you. I'll have a little bit of a lull in the game right now. So, you were talking about how we didn't have as many options in older Dota that we do today, right? Of the old Dota, like, pro legends, let's say up until TI4, which players do you think would have been extremely successful if they started their careers now instead of then?
I feel like when it comes to these big names, all of them would be successful if they started off now, and if they were as young. That's what you mean, right? Like,
Yeah.
like coming up, I feel like most of them would be.
Maybe a small skirmish happening here. Macropire gonna get dodged a little bit. They will just go out onto silence. Also a fair amount of commitment to bring him down. So
It's a wisdom shrine, right? Like it's showing up in a second now. Nice little dead shot, by the way, by the light once again, getting that hit. He's going for Aghanims, also very nice. This item is too cool. The ricochet from the dead shot with the fear comes in handy.
just got his battlefield 14 minutes 22 seconds in. Fairly slow, but he has it now. He can start to increase his farm speed. Try to involve himself in the game.
I mean, it's 14. It's all right, right? Like nothing, not too bad. I would say it's solid. Phase boots and Battle Fury.
I can tell you it's the 12th slowest this patch. My surprise. Out of 44 games.
Slowest.
12
years.
slowest, yeah. It's only been 11 times that it's been slower than this.
How many games?
44. So not that.
Okay. Yeah.
Enough, I think, that we can still determine that it's a little bit slow, and unfortunately his farm is about to slow down even more because they have caught him, surrounded by 4 heroes. Well, this is his Derecho death. I'll allow it. It's the Derecho death, it's fine. You're farming the dangerous area of the map, what's elsewhere. What can you do?
Straight into the Tormentor. Not the best shard. Probably the worst shard that he could have gotten, but what can you do?
Dude, why does a shot even exist? Oh, Malfurion! Malfurion? Malfurion? Went
they
1v1 versus Reflect and died despite Malfurion having 3k net worth advantage. Yes, his team is able to bring down the Timbersaw on the top side of the map, but overall, anytime you kill Malfurion, you feel amazing right now.
Yeah, it's a Huskar, right? Like he can still 1v1 any of these heroes if he gets on top of them. Maybe the only one that could possibly survive would be Invoker with some Ghost Walk and getting away from you.
Well. It's a 12k gold lead right now. Even more stock than in the previous game, but like you said, there's a Huskar. And for me, it's not even just a Huskar. There's heroes like Ursa. You know, there's these carry heroes that just have this X factor about them that you can never just really just sit, rest, and be like, yeah, we've beaten this guy, whatever, who cares?
By the way, Johnny Pro is basically doing the carry or offlane build on this Abaddon, like maxing out Curse instead of Mist Coil. He went 1-4-3, now he's 2-4-3. I mean, why not? He's doing a lot. He's got 1200 gold as well now to work with.
You know what's crazy to me is that he leveled up that curse, right? When he was being ganked by 4 heroes, levels the curse, gets that kill for his team, and then immediately goes, what, he went 1-2 in the lane, bro. Who goes 1-2 in the lane as support ever? Johnny does. That's why he's got the pro in his name. What a guy.
Sunstrike. Yep.
Wait, how did they get
vision.
this?
They had vision
Oh, they just
on the triangle. Yep.
But they are pinging on the wrong side. They're pinging on the cliff right now. We'll see if 4-4 is going to find this D-ward. Just a little bit forward. There you go, brother. You're good.
It doesn't. It does scout it. Okay, it was so close. It's basically that 50 range buff that Sentry got in one of the previous patches that allowed him to see that one.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
9-21 is the kill score. We're encroaching on 20 minutes into the game. Malfurion and Stormmage, of course, the most farmed. And down bottom, they might have a particular beat onto Johnny here. They force the triggering out of the borrowed time, but we need somebody. Pick me up, drag them forward. They're so scared. They feel like there's somebody here. Little do they know, they're actually all alone. They could have gotten that kill, but now it's too late. Malfurion has shown up. Sadly, though, they don't have a way to lock down this young Marcy. Unfortunately, on the other side of the map, Pastel ends up getting a kill off Flecked. I imagine a Sunstrike was dropped in that instance.
Yep.
Very easy bring down. Now, they also find the Marcy in the jungle. Pastel involved in 2 separate kills. Now showing up to pressure the tier 2 tower.
Yeah, it was Ravage, Sunstrike, Meatball on the mid lane, killing off the Huskar. The tier 2 has fallen. They're gonna pressure high ground, it seems, a little bit already. There's no big team fight on the other side, so I don't blame them from testing and seeing how it goes.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top
The thing is, we still don't have like big items on the Huskar. He has S and Y armlets. It's not the world beater that you want this hero to be. Even the Ursa. The big problem is the Ursa only has Battle Fury. No Blink Dagger, no Basher, no BKB. Nothing else that actually makes this hero threatening in these fights.
Yep, they're 16k behind, but once they get these BKBs, like, if you use the pick me up on Marcy instead of the Blink to get on top of the Prophet, I feel like you can kill him. Same
Bro,
with the Walker.
Holy shit! Bro, he just dove forward. Just out of nowhere. What the hell was that? And now Malfurion Stormrage has got the Sprout onto this Ursa. They're trying to isolate him. Reflect very low on the HP. Armlet toggling for all his worth. But he needs to get back very soon before he dies. They did get the kill onto Johnny with 404. But they also lose Reflect in the trade. Not worth for Crab Restaurant. Kachan Restaurant. Well, if I got this meal at a restaurant, I'm telling you, Lizard, I would send it back and ask to speak to the judge. This is not it.
Well, maybe they cook better than they play Dota. Let's see. They're gonna go maybe for Kachal, but TTP's out. Never mind. It's not gonna happen. Abaddon, of course, did die in that Macro Pyre, so they couldn't finish him off. The light, though.
Dude, Celery! Bro, go on! What the? Look at Celery taking so much damage. Yet again, he's gonna die. Chased by a right click. Following him from Malfurion Stormrage. They get the Yules out onto the Smarcy. Hit her with the Chaos Meteor and a couple of right clicks. Pastel now on our wicked 6 streak. Ursa goes in, but this is not a bear. This is a teddy bear right now. Look how soft and cuddly he is. He ends up dying almost immediately. Huskar TPs into a Ravage. Dies so fast, the Cataclysm doesn't even have time to connect. The triple kill for Malfurion, and honestly, Lizard, I feel like you should just call GG right now if you're Crab.
Well, they just might. Timber is up, so maybe they can def a little bit longer. They tried fighting without the BKBs. That was the problem. No Glimmer on Huskar, no BKB on Ursa. If they just waited a little bit longer, maybe they could have had a good fight in them. But now, 25k behind. Indeed, a poor defense.
I will say, one thing I like to see from Winter Bear, in previous qualifier runs, we've seen them get like a little bit too enthusiastic when they're in a winning position, but this is probably the most disciplined that I've seen Winter Bear, except Malfurion. Malfurion is still playing like a madman, but everybody else is actually playing some fairly disciplined in terms of how they approach this high ground.
Reflect. Okay, gets away with the ult. Right, nicely done with the life break. Gotta be careful not to get Sunstrike.
Oh, okay, no. Thankfully 404 was right next to him to distribute the damage. He would have died otherwise.
Yep. Yeah, most likely he would have. Like 99%.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So, Gaben gives them a 99% chance of victory for Winter Bear. Do you concur, or is it a bit too steep in their favor?
Yeah, I concur. I think that's it. It's not too steep. This is where the... this is kind of a draft you gotta do a bit better earlier.
They are gonna be fighting onto Malfurion. They took away the Aegis. Can they actually kill him? He's still alive. An amazing dead shot. Delight. What a god. But sadly, it's not going to be good enough. They do kill Malfurion Stormrage, and the kill will grant an obscene amount of gold for Salary T there.
How much was it? How obscene is the obscene that you were talking about? 1,000 shared, so 250 each and 600 on top. It's a
It's got
decent
almost
chunk.
1,000 gold. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Definitely a decent chunk.
Winterbear, though, despite losing their carry, they're still positioned around this tier 3 tower. Invoker sending in the 4 spirits. You know, for so long, everybody was like, oh, why don't people play Exort Invoker? You know, we've gotten tired of Quaswax. Honestly, I am much more annoyed playing against this shit, man. Just this cheap, zero commitment push. What the hell is this? This is so annoying.
Yeah, and when he uses that Kata with Ravage, probably everyone dies. They do have a BKB on Earth Science. Huskar has a Glimmer as well. If they had it 10 minutes ago... Oh, Ravage, Kata.
Sadly, Ravage, Cataclysm comes first. Huskar gone, Timbersaw gone, Marcy gone. Malfurion Stormrage almost dies. What the fuck? Can they get there? No, we can't. Hastel finds an Ultra kill instead. They buy back on the Marcy and the Timber, but unfortunately they're too far away from the fight to meaningfully participate.
Gotta give him
They
Rampage,
were
right?
a sliver away. I'll just give him the Rampage, bro. Come on. Help the brother out. There's the cold slap to cancel out the Timber Chain. I think the Rampage timing is gone, sadly, so he's not going to get it. He does find melee racks at least Tornado going forward, stopping the Jakiro from retreating inside the base. No Rampage achieved for Pastel. However, progression in the tournament is almost guaranteed. They have Megas, GG is cold, and Winter Bears go through to the next round of the bracket, taking out the Crab Restaurant boys. We really appreciated it, guys, but we might have cooked a little bit too much. Too many spices in the dish. Maybe we need to go back and consult the chef.
It was a cool attempt from them to put the Huskar mid, and they didn't really